Hey, it's Pasi Poutanen, founder here at News2.io, and we've helped hundreds of realtors to generate 5 to 20 listing appointments per month through a strategic personal branding methodology. And in today's video, I want to share with you the 9 essentials for quadrupling your listing appointment volume. And the reason I want to talk about this is because if you look out there in the marketplace right now in 2022, you'll see that the real estate market has changed a lot in the last years. Right now, real estate agents have the most powerful tools ever created for marketing. Now, unfortunately, these tools are getting hugely misused because how fast, instant, automated, and really even fake these modern marketing tools can be. So as an example, let's take social media, right? Like every real estate agent virtually is aware social media is the name of the game. That's the way of the future. But if you look into what's going on right now, what realtors are actually doing with these tools, you'll notice that a lot of realtors are really misusing them and really not getting the success that they want. Now, the problem is most realtors don't consider the fact that how one plays with these tools, that's going to be the variable of their success. So, an example, let's say you take American football. The value of American football to Tom Brady is millions, if not billions of dollars during his lifetime. The value for an average person, that's going to be $0, probably negative actually, because you're buying the tickets, they're buying the beer and all of that stuff. So in the same way, the value of social media for realtors who are great at using it, that's going to be massive. But the value for realtors who don't know how to actually use it, their skill set is low, that's going to be zero, or that can actually be even negative, because again, they're spending money on their ads, all that stuff, but they're not getting the return that they want. So until you learn marketing online the way that's going to work and the skills that you really need, you're leaving obviously an extraordinary amount of money on the table and possibly even, most likely you're losing out money. Now, if you ignore this, someone who has taken the time and energy to obviously master these skills, master these processes and systems, that person is obviously going to be eating away your market share every single day. So what should you be doing with social media and what should you be actually focusing on then? Because like right now, most real estate agents, if you are like most real estate agents, you may be posting things like just sold, just listed, or most realtors, they also post kind of like salesy things, right? Like real estate articles, they're automated, or design pictures or pretty pictures and so on and forth, right? That's really what most people are doing. And despite really posting these things for years, most people are rarely seeing virtually any results. So most agents just keep on doing these things. But again, the definition of insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So the reason why people are doing this is not because they're insane, but more likely because they don't have the clarity on what's actually working. So here are 9 essential things you need to implement to your social media right now in 2022 to number 1, generate the listing appointments you want. Number 2, become really well known locally. And number 3, get massive authority in the local marketplace. Number 1 will be winning people's attention. This is the most important part of the entire process because, as you can imagine, you could have the best content ever, you could have the best ads ever. At the end of the day, if you don't have enough local homeowners seeing those ads, if you don't have enough local homeowners seeing your content, it's simply not going to result into listing appointments. This is the biggest mistake I see real estate agents really do. A lot of the times I see people like automating their content with like a tool or something like that. They set it up and then they have like 100 likes on their Facebook page. So really, it's not really going to result into listing appointments no matter what you do. So the first things first, you need to take care of winning people's attention. There's 2 ways of winning it. Number 1 is the organic way, and number 2 is the paid way. So there's different metrics that kind of go into the organic methods, different metrics that go into paid methods, but you want to make sure you have enough attention in the first place before you do anything else. Number 2 will be creating a connection. So this is another mistake I see real estate agents do as well. A lot of the times people might have already a nice sphere. They might already have like 1,000, 2,000, sometimes maybe even 5,000 followers on social media. And when I say followers, I don't mean like bot followers or 10,000 followers or TikTok or something like that, right? Where it's like 10-year-old kids or people from India or whatever. They might have actual sphere. They might already have 5,000 people following them on social media. And these are real people from the local markets. And what they do is that they just blast like just sold, just listed, call me right now today, and essentially ruin that connection. So number two, once you get people's attention, is to create a connection with them. Get them to like you, get them to know your story. Because at the end of the day, unless people really care about your story, care about you personally, they're really not gonna care about the thing you're trying to sell them. So number two is creating a connection. Number three is build trust and build goodwill. So once you get people's attention, once you create a connection with them, now is the time to start building the trust and really build that goodwill. And the way you do this is usually by delivering them valuable information and valuable things they can use in their lives. So from here, as you're building the trust, you're getting people to really trust you as a real estate professional. And as you're building the goodwill, you're building value for them kind of like before you even work with them. And that's also going to position now to number four, which is going to be the position yourself to be the expert advisor when they're buying or selling a house. There's over 2 million real estate agents in the United States. There's most likely tens of thousands of realtors in your market. And the biggest mistake I see with real estate agents is that a lot of people, for some reason, they're just blending in the mass of the realtors. They might have a website and it says like find your dream home, and it's the same website thousands of other agents are using. Now let me ask you a question. Let's say you had a surgery you needed to complete. And now you needed to hire, obviously, a doctor, hire a surgeon to do it for you. Now, would you want to work with a top expert in the United States on that particular process that you're trying to do? Or would you want to take, random doctor for random hospital, right? Just take a generalist doctor. If the cost was the same, which is kind of the same with realtors in most cases, around 2%, maybe 2.5%, sometimes 3%, but almost the same cost, which doctor would you go with? The expert surgeon or the general doctor? Obviously, every single time you would choose the expert advisor. Same thing applies here. Most people want to work with an expert. Most people want to work with a top tier person in their field. So do the same thing in your marketing. Position yourself to be the number one person in your market, and do this everywhere in your marketing, because people are very sensitive to these things. They might not know these things consciously, but subconsciously they're going to look at your website. They're going to determine, are you an expert? Are you a generalist? Can I buy the service somewhere else for a cheaper price? Or is there a reason I should pay this person more? So number four will be to position you to be the number one expert advisor in your field. Number five is to differentiate yourself from all the other local real estate agents. So like we discussed, again, there's more than 2 million real estate agents in the United States. Most likely there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of realtors in your market. So it's extremely important that in addition to being top of mind with people, you're creating something we call top of mind preference. And what that means for you is that instead of just staying top of mind with people, you're really becoming the top choice with your marketing. For this particularly online marketing wise, there's a content framework called the IC framework. I'm not going to go too deep to that into this video, but there's specific things you can do with your content, specific things you can do with your marketing in order to stand out from everybody else. And number six is going to be to build desire towards your service and remove the objections, remove obstacles from people's way to working with you. A great example of this is one of our clients, and the problem in his market was really the low inventory. So really, almost just like in anywhere in the United States right now, it was a low inventory market, and there wasn't a lot of homes to be found. So what we did with him is we actually told a story about how he helped. I think it was a young person. So the young person had a grandmother, and they needed to sell their house, but the problem was the young person couldn't really find a house because the prices had gone up so high. So we told a story about how the realtor helped that person, and they were able to find a house, sell the old house, and all of that as well. Now, I don't remember the full story right now since we're already about a year ago, but just a great example of how you can remove these different objections. Somebody might be thinking, oh, it's a low inventory market. If I sell my house, am I going to be homeless? Can I find the next house, right? And also, there's other things that kind of go into this. Obviously, objection-wise, there's the commission objection. There's using your friend. There might be a part-time realtor objection. So why should be people using you as opposed to using your friend, right? So you could tell a story about that as well. And number 7 is going to be showing up consistently to be the top of mind choice. So what I see with a lot of real estate agents is, let's say, they're doing the content properly, they're doing marketing properly, they're setting up their ads, everything is going well, and for some reason, people just don't do it consistently enough. And what I mean by this is there's been different studies, and there's actually a psychological phenomenon called mere association effect. And what that means is that the more people see you, or the more people see something, the more they're going to develop kind of like a liking, preference type of effect. As an example, let's say you go to a new workplace, right? You join a new brokerage as a realtor. And in that brokerage, you have different realtors you meet for the first time. Now, on that first day, you might not really like those realtors, or for whatever reason, you might not be like that connected with them, right? But when you work with them for, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, obviously during that time, you're going to develop a friendship, you're going to develop kind of like a liking effect to those people. Now, in the same way, the more you show up on people's feed on social media, the more you show up on their feeds on Facebook, the more you show up on their Instagram, the more you show up on their LinkedIn, email, all these different channels, the more your prospects, these homeowners, are going to develop the top of mind choice effect in their minds because of the mere association effect. So number 7 is to show up consistently, and you can do this again in 2 ways. We have the organic way, and so in that you want to make sure you have enough posts going out and the right type of posts, but also you have the omnipresent strategy where you can actually take your database, take your sphere, and run this strategy. We're running this content to that database to nurture them and turn them into inbound appointments. Now again, I've already created a video on that. You can check it out on my channel where I kind of walk through that strategy. So just to keep this video short enough, I'm not gonna walk through the whole thing right here. Now, number 8 will be to make clear and valuable offers. So oftentimes what I see with realtors as well is they're doing all these things right? So they're doing the content right, they're doing their organic reach right, they have their paid ads set up, they have everything that sells set up the right way, but then they're not converting the attention they're getting. For whatever reason, they're not doing the call to actions, they're not putting out like valuable things. As an example, with the 2-step strategy where you have a lead magnet, you deliver a value add, or you deliver something people want, you get people to engage, and from there I'll convert them into a listing appointment. So as you're doing all these things, you need to have the right systematic process to take a lead. As an example, let's say somebody comments on your post, take that lead, take that conversation, turn it from a conversation into a phone call, and from there into a listing appointment, and from there into a listing. So you need to be able to make clear and valuable offers with your marketing in order for it to be profitable, obviously, as well. And number 9 is kind of like the same process. You need to be able to trigger people to reach out to you. Unless you're able to trigger people after seeing your posts, after seeing your content, and be able to get them, okay, let's book that listing appointment, okay, let's book that appointment, or let's speak to this person, obviously you're still going to be lacking on results. So number 8, make clear and valuable offers. Number 9, get people to trigger to reach out to you. Remember, if you're not doing these things, and if you're not doing these things well, you will get very low results, and you will get slowly but surely, you will get left behind, because the marketplace is obviously evolving every single day. But if you're great at this, you have these skills, you have these processes right now in today's marketplace, it does have the power and the potential to change your entire business and potentially maybe even your entire life. So make it happen. Now, some people think that they're not tech savvy, or they don't have the time, they don't have the energy. What they don't realize is that literally anyone can do this if they just decide to do it and they have the right help to do it. And that's actually a good thing, because right now, again, so many people say like, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I just want to keep doing the cold calling, whatever. So most realtors just, for whatever reason, they're not wanting to do it, not ready to commit, or can't do it. So the level of competition is still incredibly low. If you look into any fields out there, we're in the consulting business ourselves, competition is already, 10 years, 20 years ahead of what most realtors are doing. So if you're able to learn this skill and apply this in a business where, again, your level of competition is very low, but you have the high skills, obviously it's going to create a massive opportunity for you as a realtor to dominate the marketplace, scale your business, and get it to that next level. So hopefully this video was useful, and I'll see you on the next one.